Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Let me cue in my
The real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
thank y'all so much. Shout out to the NTZ crew. I see you, Jacob Tanjay. I saw Michael Beecher Life on here. All my old heads. There's Jeffrey Tatter. He's been here probably since the beginning. He said, tap the like for the ambassador and yourself. That's right. There's another old head. He said, Cal, loved your Elton John song. Good voice. Hey, thank you. But Angel's really the accomplished musician and everything. I'll just be messing around. What's up, Roger? 53 Shades Darker. Any new viewers and subscribers checking in for the first time? Welcome. What's up, Kamar? It's Kamar. Well, he's not a new guy. He's been around for a while. And anybody catching this on the replay, we always have a topic. Today's topic is no one talks about the bad situation many older men find themselves in. No love or intimacy. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you where I got that idea because I watched a great documentary that addresses this. And I put the link in the description. But first of all, the peso is 55.4, which is great. I mean, like I said, guys, anytime it's over 50, you're doing good. Everybody in America, I want to salute, and I know you're celebrating the Pearl Harbor anniversary. But, it's funny, I don't see anything on my Facebook feed about that. It's December 7th in America. And, that's what entered us into World War II. I don't see much acknowledgement about that anymore. I don't know why. What's going on about that? But anyway, I want to acknowledge the men and women who gave their lives, man. But also, it's some bad news, man, that I'm going to start this out with. December 5th, a series bus, a bus that I've ridden many times in Iloilo City, went over a cliff, man. 17 people died. So many injured, including a 36-year-old father and his 1-year-old son were killed. And bad brakes is the culprit. And I would probably add speeding. Y'all think I just be on here yapping. Y'all know I was in a bus accident before. Riding a bus is the best way to see the Philippines, but you're putting your life in the hands of these drivers. I don't know how long they've been up. I don't know how they're paid. Are they paid per trip? Because they're flying, man. I mean, I don't understand why they're in such of a hurry. And they have no regard for human life, man. Sometimes I think they're showing out. But my sincere condolences to the victims' families and the survivors, because the driver and the conductor perished. They both died. So be careful when you riding these buses, man. I don't know what to say. I've rode that same stretch of road coming from Boracay and going to Boracay. I mean, it's curves. It's like this. Hairpin turns, man. And you got to slow down. But, yeah, And also over in America, in the UNLV shooting, 3 dead plus the shooter. They said he had a list of people he was on the hunt for. So it's a good thing they went on and took him out before he took any more innocent people out. He was a professor, supposedly one of the smart guys. So, I don't know what's going on, guys. But here's my thing, man. Like I told y'all a long time ago, I threw up the white flag. I don't have time for any old beefs and foolishness, guys. Life is too precious. You don't know what people are going through, man. You could be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and you end up dead for nothing, man. Leave people alone, man. Mind your own damn business, because you don't know what's going on in people's lives, man. We had a lot of stuff, and obviously this guy was. Evidently, they were screwing with him at work, or he thought they were screwing with him at work. But yeah, man, all these old petty squabbles and stuff, man. Seems like every other day somebody's writing me and somebody's got a squabble with me. I'm like, I don't even know these people. I'm not over here for all that, guys. But yeah, that's real sad. I saw where a volcano erupted in Malaysia, man. I guess they're on that ring of fire too. It's a lot going on in the world, man. I'm trying to enjoy the fourth quarter of my life. I don't need no foolishness, man. Okay? That's just how it is. But yeah, that guy, he really had a list, man, of people he was looking for to kill. But one more thing before we go, Charleston White is on everybody's mind, right? I get him. You know why I get him? Because it's obvious that he reads. When he was in prison, that old boys' home where he was, he picked up the habit of reading. And that's all it is. See, the things he's saying, it's not profound, guys. It comes from reading. But because most of us don't read, 57% of Americans never pick up another book once they leave high school. You think that he's profound. They're calling him Malcolm X-rated. There's nowhere on that level. But I get him, man. He's entertaining. But let's calm down a little bit on him, man. We follow the wrong people. I mean, y'all got to realize this guy was in that group home. Somebody died behind his charges. I'm not going to celebrate anybody like that. But he is entertaining. But that's all it is, guys. He reads. He made Cam Newton look like a fool because Cam Newton ain't reading nothing. He's not reading nothing. Yeah. Now, see, you were on that route, man. He says, Globalismo Black Man says, I was on that series liner bus from Kalibo, Auckland to Iloilo City in 2017. Yeah. Man, these guys drive like a bat out of hell. They have, I'm sorry, but they're going to put your life in jeopardy. But let's talk about something. I watched a video. I put in a link. It's called The Shady Side of Paradise. And they're talking about the sex trade in Thailand. Well, of course, it's a Western media. So they're trying to, spin that same old tired narrative of we're taking advantage of women over there, right? Well, this guy ran into two sharp guys. The first one was in his 70s. And he's basically the one that gave me my topic today. Because they were talking about, trying to spin it like he's taking advantage of the women. And he was like, no, he said, these women don't have it as hard as y'all think they do. He said, and you don't understand the culture over here. A lot of these women are starving. He said, it's one hand washing the other. He says, you're always talking about them, but you never talk about the lonely life that a lot of us older men are forced to live. Nobody has any sympathy for us. And it's true, man. I know I pick on us a lot, but I only do it to show you that you got value over here. Don't just come over here and lay down. I want your outcome to be better when you come here or Thailand or wherever. That's the only reason I do it. But no one really cares about that situation. And these, this Western media, they're always going to make it look like we're taking advantage. They talked to a YouTuber on there from Germany. And you would have thought he was watching my videos, but he wasn't. This is common sense, guys. He was saying to the interviewer, you're bringing that Western thinking over here. Where have y'all heard that from? Me. You got to get rid of that. He said, that's how it is over there. It's not how it is over here. You got to get rid of that to even understand what's going on over here. He said, us coming over here feeds a lot of families. It helps the economy. Because he got me to thinking. I was like, if Thailand is all of that, then why is there so many poor people over there? Well, they always talk about how good the infrastructure is and this and that. Well, there must be some skeletons in the closet because it's a lot of women over there in that sex trade because there's no jobs and they're forced into it basically to take care of their families. But let's talk about this a little bit because me and Merlin have this discussion all the time. Of course, she's going to take the Filipino side. And of course, I'm going to take the foreigner side because it's not all about us. I'm trying to see from both sides, but there doesn't seem to be an age limit on grown men coming to the Philippines. That's what I wrote down. I said, as long as he can afford the ticket and board the plane, if he's in, physically and mentally able to board the plane, he's good. Okay. If anything, the older, the better. All right. Now, let's look at the other side. I'm learning from Maryland and others that there seems to be an age limit for grown women in the Philippines wanting to date a foreigner. Yeah, they're saying, well, let me put it like this. According to Philippine law, a woman is grown when she reaches the age of 18. She's considered grown. But some locals seem to think that she's too young to date a foreign man. In their opinion, she's too immature and foreign men are simply taking advantage of her. See, this is that argument. So that's why we end up feeling guilty when we come over here. And this is one of the reasons for this live stream today. I don't want you to feel guilty when you come over here. These women know exactly what they're doing. They're grown. And remember, without us, there is no party. So when we come over here, we're actually helping things along. We're not talking about the pedophiles and all that. Okay. But there's no reason for you to be ashamed. There's no reason for you to, hold your head down and all of that. Because it's literally one hand watching the other. I'm no longer even concerned about whether it's a fair exchange or not. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, it's really about being happy and being content. And as long as you're happy and content, who cares what you're giving for that happiness and contentment? It's a whole lot better than being in the nursing home over there or being in some empty apartment or in some empty house by yourself because we get no sympathy. And then the minute we come over here, they want to talk about us. Am I on here, man? Somebody give me a thumbs up because my comment section's not moving. But I get on guys all the time because I want them to know that we have value, man. And no matter how others feel about themselves, don't give your value away. And I think that a lot of times that's what we're doing. We think because we're older and everything that we don't have any value. That, that she's the prize and we're nothing. And that's how we act when we get over here. But it is a lot of guys in a bad situation who end up finding some happiness and contentment over here. And I don't have a problem with that. Hey, what's going on, Vince? Lawson? Thanks for the super chat. He says, thanks for doing a course correction and calling out others. These vloggers are leading sheep to slaughter. Sad for the men that had everything but a woman, then come to the Philippines and lost it all because of a woman. Yeah, this is a profound statement, man, right here. Because there is a lot of fantasy being sold on YouTube. But it's not really a course correction. I give people the 360 because it's not all bad over here. If you know what you're doing over here, you can be just as happy as I am and thousands of other people. But it's people who literally take these vloggers word for word that have the most trouble. Okay? But yeah, you're right, Vince. You hit this right on the money when you said men that have everything but a woman at home, then they come over here and lose everything because of a woman. And I think that's because they don't realize their value, Vince. We got value over here. You got value at home. But yeah, that's a profound statement. Now, you don't have to worry about getting blocked unless everybody knows why I block people. If you attack me or anybody else, you will get blocked. There's no need for that. Okay? You need to grow up, guys. He said, great topic. I might have to make a video on it. Yeah, a lot of guys that come over here, I tell y'all all the time, I'm just telling y'all what I'm seeing. Okay, remember the video I did yesterday? I interviewed the young guy. He's a sharp young guy. Okay. He doesn't fit the mold of the typical expat that comes over here. Now, he does have business reasons over here. But he said, I influenced him to come. He said he never would have came. But he doesn't fit the mold. When you seen him, he was dropping a lot of gems to us, but we're not listening. You know, he said, you don't need that dating site. And it's true. He met a nice looking woman. I met her. And I'll just leave it at that. Without the dating site. You know. But it's a topic that we don't talk enough about. We're always looking at the victim. We're making a woman the victim. See, because most of the guys that I meet over here, when they come over here, they're established already. They're successful, man, by any definition at home. But then when they come over here, something changes in them. It's like they lay down and, I don't know, it's like, well, they feel guilty and, well, you know, they start being insecure. It's like, you know, I don't have a right to be with a young, attractive woman when you do, because if it's not for you, she's having a hard life, a lot of it. It's one hand washes the other, guys. We got to get out of that. Okay, we need to start talking more about self-preservation. What's up, Michael Dawsonville? I mean, do you think for 1 minute I'm ashamed my woman's 20 years younger than me? No. I've dealt with women. That's been about except for the dreamer. And remember, she was she was 38 years younger or something like that. But I never felt like I was doing anything wrong. Yeah, this young man, he's basically us when we were younger. But at the end of the day, they still are going to be attracted to him for the same reason, even though his skin is tighter, you know, he looks a lot better. It's still, you know, that give and take thing. You know, I still want the better life, the visa, and all of that, the good times. It doesn't matter how old you are. But there's a lot of guys struggling over there. They're ashamed. They're afraid to come over here because of what their friends and family and everybody's going to say. I say, I'll be damned. Because over there, they don't care. Oh, yeah, you've lived your life. You might as well ride away and just die. Because then you got, some guy was on one of the comments on one of the videos I just recently did. He said, no, on my video where I said, I'll never bring another Filipina tool back home with me, right? And he says, oh, because y'all over there looking for a sex doll. He says, you need to start dating women your age. Well, no, you can't tell me who to date. And first of all, women my age are a whole lot older than me. And where a man is still, his faculties is still intact, she's not going to be wanting to have the intimacy and stuff that we still crave in our 80s. Yeah. But that's the whole point. That's that Western thinking that he brought into my channel. And I always talk about, guys, this is a whole other culture over here. And when you go to Thailand and in any part of Asia, any part of the world. So it's going to take a little time for you to figure things out. You got to let the dust settle. Because they say, oh, well, you're not supposed to date a woman 20 years younger than you over there. They'll say that. Or these women who, they don't even consider themselves bar girls, really. They don't consider it a bad thing. They consider it as a way to take care of their families. Because they just look like regular women. But when we come over here, we bring that reputation of a bar girl, of a prostitute with us, and we put it on their shoulders. And it's just not the case. I mean, go and watch that video, guys, because it's a real good video. It's going to kind of, things are going to start making a lot more sense to you over here, even though they're in Thailand. Because these two guys, they picked two veterans. It wasn't like they picked two green guys and started, trying to put them on the spot. They picked two veterans, man, and they let them have it, man. They said, take that Western thinking over there. This ain't America and Germany and all that stuff. Yeah, he said, interesting, the young black businessman mentioned poverty and the introduction by the family with their daughters. Yeah, because, it's reality, guys. But remember, this is Western thinking if you're thinking other things. See, Geechee Lion came on there with a crazy comment. He said, yeah, Cal, that guy said that people was opening up their daughters and you didn't blink an eye. What am I supposed to do? I mean, we're talking about grown women, man. I mean, but when you bring that on my channel, I was like, dude, you would never make that statement on anybody else's channel, but you think it's okay for you to make it on my channel like we're dealing with pedophiles or something, man. I mean, come on, guys. Y'all know better than that. I mean, he was saying that a couple of his employees and their friends, he didn't say that they were lined up outside of his hotel room. He said they just brought, the daughters over there. Well, he said one guy brought his niece over there. She was 29 and tried to introduce her. He wasn't interested. He said because she had 3 kids and the 3 kids wasn't with her. Said she was very nice looking. She was 29 years old, had 3 children. They were with the father, 3 different fathers. He said, no, I don't want that. Hey, what time is it, Travels? Thank you so much, man, for your membership. I've got a special interview I'm going to do today of a young lady who still has dreams. She still has a bright future. And I'm going to give it to my members first before they're going to preview it and get to look at it first before the YouTube world. But I wanted to show another side of the Philippines, that everybody over here is not on the dating site. Everybody over here is not, desperate and dating older men and all of that. People still have dreams. They still have, in their opinion, a bright future ahead of them. They're pulling themselves up because I'm trying to help you get rid of that Western mindset that we bring over here. It's going to take you a while. You can't do it overnight. But some of it's ridiculous. I mean, they just took that statement where he said, yeah, a few people bought the doors over and introduced me and ran with it. Have y'all been following the Cameron and May situation? Same thing happened to them. They were just telling a funny story about young early in their career. They went to a red light district and got with a woman, right? And they were running the train on her. Well, some lady on the Joe Budden podcast says, well, how do you know the woman wasn't a minor? I mean, just threw that out there like that. And guys, we got to quit that, man. That's Western thinking. That's all that Me Too movement stuff, man. And Geechee Lion, he shocked me with that, man. Don't do that to me, man. You know good and well I don't fool around like that. And it's obvious that this young guy does it. I mean, the young lady he's got right now is a really nice looking woman. She's nice. She's got good morals and values. And, he didn't go on the dating site. He met her face to face. But there's nothing wrong with the dating sites, ladies and gentlemen. But most of us, when we come over here, beauty still intimidates us. We're not going to introduce ourselves to women. But that's another reason for the interview today. I'm going to show you that women here, they're not the same over there. They're attractive, but they're approachable. They're nice. They're not going to shoot you down the way that they do over there. So it makes you hesitant when you come over here. Or it makes you think, oh, well, I'm 60. Ain't no 25-year-old woman want me. Bullshit, man. You got value. What's up, Hollywood, baby? I didn't pass you up. Yeah, I heard about that. But I don't know a whole lot about it. But see, remember, Thailand has so many tourists and it's so popular that they can pull that out of thin air like that and start enacting these different laws and stuff. And they're going to say, like they do in Asia, take it or leave it. There's not going to be many people leaving because of that. But when you got 49 million coming in there every year, year upon year, and more, even more coming, you can pull that kind of stuff. The Philippines right now is not at that level. So what they're trying to do is get you to come in here to at least visit. And then they're going to say, well, we'll let you stay for 36 months. Robert Dame says, why do they look better in person? It's because they look better in person. We're looking at these pictures and these videos and everything like that. You can't feel their skin, Robert, online. See, you don't see the things that turn men on. You just can't see it online, really. And when you see it up close, you can tell. I can tell. Even if you got a woman who looks good for her age, right? You can tell the difference between a younger woman and an older woman. You can look at her legs. You can look at her skin, man. They look better in person because we take it for granted. When's the last time you seen a 24-year-old woman in person? I mean, up close in person, Robert. I'm not talking about just on the screen. I'm talking about up close in person. He's laying next to you. The creamy skin, everything's perfect. It's been a while. Well, see, I don't really know, Gerald, about that situation, but they can do whatever they want to do. This is what I'm saying. Thailand has that type of pull. See, they have that type of leverage. You got 49 million coming over there every year upon year. But something's going on over there because if you got all this tourism and all of this going on, why is there so many poor people like that? Hell, they're just as poor as they are over here. When women have to go into the sex trade to take care of their families and stuff, somebody talk to me and tell me what's going on over there. And don't say, oh, it's going on everywhere in the world. Well, you keep wanting to compare the Philippines with Thailand. Well, compare it there. There's no difference. People are struggling over there. But nobody ever wants to talk about this. Something's going on over there. There's some skeletons in that closet. But if they want to tax, now I don't know if they can tax your income. I don't know if that's even legal, especially if you didn't earn it there. How would they do that? Now, if you got money in the bank, in their banks over there, maybe that's something different. Maybe that's something we need to think about when you start opening up bank accounts overseas. Because over here, if you open up a bank account, they put you through the ringer. The money laundering, you got to fill out the W-9. So if you got a certain amount of money in the bank here, you got to report it. Over 10,000, you have to report it. And then, if you're getting a certain amount of interest, up to a certain amount, you got to report that. So it's a lot that goes into moving overseas. It's not difficult, but it's not easy, man. We just don't do the research. We don't do the homework. We just sell everything and move over here and do this on-the-job training because you see regular guys like me. I'm saying, man, look, I was a fool when I first came over here. Remember they say God looks out the babies and fools. It's the only reason I didn't get rolled and nothing really bad happened to me. And then before I came over here before I relocated here, I was coming back and forth for almost 10 years. It was 10 years, a little bit over 10 years. But let's talk about this one-sided coin that they keep wanting to give us, that the woman's the victim, that we're taking advantage of her. And we don't have any business over here dating young women and younger women and all that. See, that's not true. That's not telling the 360. We're two sides of the same coin, guys. Forget about that. I've thrown it out, whether it's a fair exchange or not. I've thrown it out. Because if the man is happy, if he's content, if the woman is happy and she's content, and whatever two grown adults agree to or consent to, it's nobody else's business. But they're trying to make us look like perpetrators, and I don't like that. I mean, me and Merlin, we get into some discussions about that. That's the only thing that we fall out about. Because I'm saying there seems to be a limit, an age limit, on grown women over here who want to date foreigners. They get upset when they see an 18-year-old with like a 50-year-old. And I'm like, the 18-year-old is with the 50-year-old for the same reason you're with me, but she can't see it that way. Or I'll say, she'll say, because all you foreigners, me included, she puts us all in one basket like I told y'all. You're nothing special over here. They put us all in one basket. Oh, y'all come over here to take advantage of these young women. Okay, so I'm saying, so what about the men who get taken advantage of? Well, they're old and they should know better. She's saying that the young women don't know any better. That's bull. That's bull crap, man. That's bull. I'm telling you now. Women know exactly what they're doing. Okay? And this is the only thing that me and her always get into it about. I mean, to the point where I got to go walking because you're never going to bring them. Remember, we're from two different cultures. You're never going to bring them over to understanding what you're talking about. And she certainly can't bring you over because I don't understand Messiah. They don't understand English as well as you think they do. They can talk it, the basic stuff, but when you're trying to explain something to them, it's hard. But to say that we're the ones who are taking advantage, that's not the whole story. That's not true. I've got friends over here who I know are being taken advantage of. It's none of my business because they're happy. And that's why I tell her all the time, I was like, what business is it of yours? Who's fooling with who? I said, these young women, they want a new life just like you. They want a better life just like you. So you got to put an age limit on it now? So now, if they're 18 and 19, they're off limits to us? Talk to me, guys, because a lot of you guys want to come over here, but you're afraid because of the reputation that's going on over here. I'll tell Marilyn and I'll tell you, this thing's been going on long before I was born. And just because I'm talking about it doesn't make it worse. Or if I don't talk about it, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. When I'm dead and cold in my grave, it's still going to be going on. But I know men over in the United States right now, man, and who are suffering, man. They're sitting in these old warehouses over there. They call them senior high rises. They still got a lot of life into them. But what are they going to do? They're 70 years old. They look at the 70-year-old woman. There's nothing but friendship there. There's no intimacy there that the man still craves. He still wants that. So he just got to ride away over there. And there's some guys I've influenced to come over here like, man, come on over here, man. Don't be worrying about what they talking about. This is your life. You're in the fourth quarter. It's time to make some decisions for you. You've taken care of the family. You paid your dues. And you're doing nothing wrong over here. Go watch that video, man. It's going to bring some light onto a lot of things I'm saying and a lot of things that you're thinking in your head. Because, they're trying to, this is a Western crew, and they're trying to spin it. But they talked to two of the right guys in our situation. They let them have it. They said, women ain't victims over here. And if we wasn't here, they would be starving. He's talking about Thailand. This is a business. I mean, there's no telling how many, surely multi-billion baht business over there. It's illegal over there now, but it's right there in plain sight. Block after block after block of it. Thousands and thousands and thousands of women, man. But they want you to think that you're adding to the problem, that you are the problem. No, we're not the problem. That's just a way for them to avoid putting responsibility where it's supposed to be. And I won't even talk about that, but the circumstances are what they are, man. I'm not taking advantage of anybody. If anything, I'm being taken advantage of. Merlin can come in here right now and kick me out. What do I got to do? I spent all my money, built the house, did everything. What? I don't have a leg to stand on, but I'm supposed to be taking advantage of her. Come on, man. Hey, Elliot, thanks for joining us. She says, I'm working, but I hope they can't hear me, your clients. Dr. Silver says older men need to get off the booze, smokes, drugs, and get on to the carnivore way of living, higher T levels and interest in Asian women. But thank you. We certainly have to take better care of ourselves. You've done everything. You're retired now. You're on your own time now. You can make your own decisions. You've basically been doing that your whole life. So if you want to step out and find a younger woman who can still please you and long as you happy and content, why not? You don't have to suffer over that because there's millions of men in America like that. Remember, I was in the Medicare business, guys. I used to go to these senior high-rise apartments all the time and see these men in their 50s, 60s, 70s, man. They're done. They've given up on life because society over there has thrown us in the trash. Oh, you a dirty old man. You ain't got no business fooling with them younger women. You know, trying to tell us, and we're stupid enough to sit back and listen to that stuff. That's why I left, man. You know, we are always trying to tell somebody how to live. My comments is full of people telling me what I should and shouldn't do. And they're all from over there. That's the number one reason. It wasn't racism. That was in there. But people won't mind their business over there. They want to mind your business. I said, to hell with that. I'm going to do whatever I want to do as long as it's within the legal framework of wherever I go. Okay, because I'm going to follow the law wherever I go, and I'm not going to violate the rights of my fellow man or woman. And you're going to be okay. Yeah, soy 6. I mean, that's just the beginning, Jacob, over there. It's a business. And that's all it is. It's a business agreement. It's the same thing over here. You know, but when you tell guys, some guy on the video, the interview I'm doing with Alex, he said, so you mean to tell me that there's no younger women that love their older men over there? I said, I don't really have any idea, to tell the truth. Love is overrated. I love Curly, but I'm not going to marry him. There's so many degrees of love. And a lot of times, people don't even love themselves, and you want them to love you. Why does love have to be involved? Are you happy, man? Is she happy? Do y'all get along? You know, we throw that old love in there, man, and it messes everything up. Evidently, yeah, she loves you. She loves what you can do for her. She loves the lifestyle you've given her. It's love all in there. But that's your ego. And you're not going to be able to tell if the woman loves you. Anyway, are you so insecure that you got to hear that all day, every day? I love you, love you, love you. Then you got the nerve, when they do tell you they love you, you say, oh, I don't believe it. It's too fast. You just met me last week. Gerald Wilkins said, Calvin, are a significant number of young and lower middle-aged Filipino women going into the field of nursing to expand their life's options. Where is it leaving many other Filipino women? Well, it is, 25% of all nurses in America come from the Philippines. It may even be the world. Now, has it changed? Meaning, a lot of times, women are becoming nurses, women and men, to escape the situation. They know if you want to escape the Philippines, that's all you got to do. You want to escape poverty over here, you take up healthcare some kind of way. You become a nurse, a doctor, or some type of therapist or something like that. You're out of here. Right now, as we speak, Gerald Wilkins, there's 100,000 pending applications for work visas over in America, where America is wanting them. 100,000. That's a lot. Yeah, see, that's what I'm trying to get. That's what I'm trying to get. But she's not the only one, Mike. It is hypocritical. That's why I said, you're a hypocrite for saying that. I mean, it really doesn't matter if you're 18 or 100, all looking for a better life. And if you're not a nurse, if you're not a seaman, if you're not rich already, and a lot of other things that can help you get out of here, a love relationship with a Western foreigner is one way. But just because I talk about it, oh, it sounds cringy. Well, it happens every single day. You don't think these young, attractive women, that's what they're offering. And then you're offering the visa and the better life. I mean, we talk about this all the time, but people don't seem to get it. They get it over here. They get it over here. But we don't because of our religious upbringing and all that rhetoric over there. It won't allow you to let go and open your mind and start thinking differently. The United States is only 4% of the world's population, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't know that, you know that now. But we think everything works the same way around the world as it does in America. 4%. Look it up if you don't believe me. 4%. And you think, oh, well, you know, everybody thinks the same way as we do. We're arrogant, man. It's not true. It's a whole lot out here in this world. I learned that when I went into service. The Navy taught me that. That was the best cultural lesson that I could have ever learned. If you want to be, when they indoctrinate you, if you what they call it, if you want to be debriefed, join the damn service. That's one good way of being debriefed on the bullshit that they indoctrinate us with over there. He said the legal system scares me like hell. Prison for adultery. What? Well, like I said, that's your Western thinking. You're in the Philippines where, they're very conservative. Marriage still means something over here to them because it's in the law. That's right. See, we're just so loose over there that everything, is on the table. Nothing's off limits over there. I can wake up tomorrow over there, put on a damn wig and say I'm a woman. And then I'm going to have the government behind me over there. I mean, it's just everything, it's just willy-nilly over there. We've lost our mind over there. And then when we step outside the United States and see that everybody else hasn't lost their mind, we don't know what to do. Oh, prison for adultery? Yeah, over here because they take that seriously. They take that oath seriously. They don't just get married and then, I can get divorced. You can actually get married, get a divorce, get married again. Many times you want over that. Ask Robert Dame. Robert Dame, the minute that his divorce became final, he got married on the same day. And that's my buddy. See? Rodney, he says, hey, Cal, he said, most of the 50 and 60-year-old women here in the West, they don't want nothing but the wine. Yeah, well, and church, to go to church all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we're much younger. They're much older than us. Just think back when you were 16. Those 16-year-old women wasn't looking at you. They wanted the 21 and 22-year-old men because women mature faster than us, physically and mentally. We've got something called testosterone. Look it up, guys. Don't take my word for it. We look younger as we age. We still want it, man. They dry up. A woman my age, man, she ain't trying to have sex every day. She cannot hang with me. I'm sorry. So y'all can take that any way y'all want. I've been out of that matrix for years. I don't care what you think over there. Vince Lawson says, hey, Hump, do you think things will change once the bases come in? The 18 to 38-year-olds first and 15th far outweigh a pension. Yeah, but remember, it's still going to be like a long distance thing, Vince. And those bases aren't everywhere. They're surely not going to be in San Carlos City. They're not going to be in Bacala. They're not going to be in Iloilo. They're not going to be in Boracay. They're strategically situated, and most of it's up there in Luzon. And maybe I think a few down in Mindanao, I think. I haven't really saw where they're going to put them, but it's not going to make a difference. It's not going to make one bit of difference because there's 110 million people here. first of all. And Filipinos aren't going to start running to those bases. There are going to be certain ones that have that mindset anyway. It doesn't matter if you're going to be bases there or not. They're opportunists. And so they're going to run toward that base anyway. But no, it's nothing going. I'll tell you, places like Walking Street and all those places, they're going to flourish again. But when is all this supposed to kick off? Because we talk about this. Y'all have to understand that the United States has been over. They've never really left, guys, okay? I lived down in Zamboanga, man, on and off for 10 years. I saw U.S. military just about every single day. If you go to especially if you go downtown or you go to the grocery store, they got to eat, a lot of those guys. They're down there looking for women or whatever it is. I'm not saying, I don't know how many it is, but they never left, trust me. Yeah, they've never left. Yeah, they need to implement rule number 1 in America immediately, ASAP, because they don't want to man. They want to man your business, but not their own business. Their whole life is falling apart, but they quick to point the finger at you. That's why I left, man. I couldn't deal with that. That's just part of the problem. I mean, go in any of my videos, you're going to see some loudmouth over there telling me what to do or what I should do. Or don't do this and don't do that. And I'm like, that's the problem. You sitting on your couch trying to tell me, I'm out here trying to make it. I'm out here, man, really, it all is on my shoulders here. If I don't make it over here, there's no help for me. But you over there, you got the government behind you. You know, you got a good job. They basically came to your front door, knocked on the door, handed you a paycheck. But you want to tell me how to live my life over here. You all the way on the other side of the world. And that's part of the problem. That's the reason why a lot of men don't come over here. They're afraid of what them clowns over there are going to say about them. You don't have to come to the Philippines. Andrew Carnegie, at the time, the richest man in the world, he said that you should travel. Get out and see as much of the world as you possibly can. Elette Mercado says, excuse me? Well, you may be the exception. Hey, Booby. I don't know where Lola is. Booby just came home from school. Did you practice today? Good. You want to say hello to everybody? Booby says hello she just came from school. You may be the exception, Ellen, but ain't too many women my age trying to please me the way I want to be pleased. You said it to yourself. You said that's why you're single, because you don't want to be on your back all the time. See, y'all want to talk that Jesus stuff that, you think Jesus is looking through that window. He's not. And religion only means something to everybody when it's convenient, but we're talking about an age. That's what we're talking about. I know 70-year-old men over here. There's nothing that a 70-year-old woman anywhere in the world can do for them. They need somebody younger, 50 and under, 18 to 50. See? I look like I'm a 60-year-old man, still in my peak, sexual peak. I'm going to have trouble with a 60-year-old woman. I'm not going to be one of those guys sitting around watching The Price is Right all damn day. And, as the world turns and all of that, playing bingo twice a week and all of that because I feel guilty, because I still have my male faculties intact. And the society over says, sit your ass down. You're done. The best I can do is be a deacon, sit on the front row on Sunday. No, I'm sorry. Mm-mm. Those are olden days. He said that Robert really have hot pants syndrome. Yeah, well, that's how we think though, as men. And then over in the West, they tell you, you got to get married. That's part of our religious upbringing. Booby's crazy. Do it again. She's just infatuated by this video because she watches the video. She watches Roma and Diana. Hey, Moments with Mitch, how you feeling, man?
Okay, Booby.
Go ahead, Boo. Booby didn't have a Christmas party. He said, welcome, everybody. How you feeling, Mitch? I know you was under the weather. He said, Robert had. Let's get back to this. Because Robert's on here. I don't want him to explain himself. But yeah, the day that his divorce was final, he got married the same day. They were waiting. But he's not the only one. It happened over here. One of my buddies, I want to say Scott Fortune, he's a businessman over here. 30-something years in the military. That's what he did. So it's not out of the ordinary, but he didn't marry a 60-year-old woman. And there's guys over there who, I guess, they always say it's somebody for everybody. But I'm not trying to deal with a 60-year-old woman. You got to buy that KY jelly. You got to stock up on that because she's dry as a damn bone, I was just reading an article yesterday that said by the time a woman's 45 years old, she's had sex 3,000 times. It's like, well, hell, there's nothing left there. She literally has a hole right there. So, no, they don't give us any sympathy, and I don't give them any sympathy. He said most of these guys are still mama's boys and afraid to travel and do things on their own. It's easy to criticize everybody else and act like they are pure as a driven snow. See, this is what you get over there. This is what I get all the time, Craig. You couldn't have said any better in my comments. Hey, thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. I got a special one coming up today. A young lady. She's a follower of my Sunshine Shoulders. And she's in college. Very attractive. I just asked, I said, hey, would you do me a favor? Can I interview you? She said, sure. And she said, what's the requirements? I said, no, there's no requirements. I just want to ask you some general questions about your life in San Carlos City. She said, sure. I love to do that, And I'm going to show you because she's intelligent. She has a bright present and even brighter future. She still has dreams, guys. These are the women that are not on the dating site. But that's not the only reason I'm making it. I want to show you that this isn't the 1800s over here. There's a world outside of the United States. Yeah, they're not going to want to do it. And you know it, Jacob. It doesn't mean because a woman gets old that if I'm married to a woman and me and my wife didn't split up after 18 years because she was old. Yeah, she was still young. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying there's probably going to end up being some trouble, some friction in a marriage as you get older because the woman is going to grow older than the man in most cases. Not all cases, but most cases. So what's the 3 top things that destroy a relationship or marriage? Not in any order. Money, sex, and third party. Third party doesn't always have to be another relationship. It could be she's telling all your business or you're telling all y'all's business in the street. And people know what's going on in your house. They ain't got no business knowing what's going on in your house. See, that's a problem here. You'll be sitting around and people know more about you than they should know. That's a problem I've got. Isaiah Allen said, Cal, my view is that both the statement that the 18-year-old being with the 50-year-old for the same reason as an adult, and that the men should be old enough to be aware of being taken advantage of sound valid. Okay, well, you're kind of misconstruing it. She's saying that the 18-year-old, to begin with, the 18-year-old is too young, is immature, and doesn't know what she's doing. So the foreigner comes over here and takes advantage of her. I'm saying that's not true. And then she says the older men who are being taken advantage of, they should know better. It's like, that's okay because they should know better. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. You know, what it really boils down to, guys, is this. These older women, they're really jealous of these younger women. It's a lot of competition, you can imagine, in an environment like this. There's going to be a lot of competition. So they're really young. They're really jealous of these younger women. So they say, oh, stay away from. If they tell you to stay away from the young woman, that's going to increase their odds of finding somebody. That's more men for them to choose from. But they know a man. A man is always going to go for the younger woman. You know, nobody needs to be taken advantage of. But if you're both being exploited, then hey, I mean, how do you fix that? That's just how it is. Okay, she's exploiting me, and then I'm exploiting her. We're two consenting adults. Okay, it's nobody's business. Okay, Moments with Mitch. She says, I'm back home from the hospital. It's a dangerous place. Absolutely. I have gout medicine now, hopefully on the mend. That's good. You know, there's a book, and if you think I'm playing, look it up. It's How to Get Out of the Hospital Alive. So many people, but the number one thing people brag about when they come over here from America and the West is how good the healthcare is over there, right? But you would be shocked at how many hundreds of thousands of people die from medical negligence over there every year. So the name of the book is How to Get Out of the Hospital Alive. W Secrets of Success vlog. He said, what's up, Cal? I know you're enjoying yourself, man. That video you sent me at that L&K hotel in Pattaya, man. You living a life over there. But remember, they're starving over there too, W Secrets, but that's none of your business. But I know you're gonna like it. I told you was gonna like Thailand. You can take your white gloves off over there. What time is the travel? Says Cal, my brother lives in the States. He told me his wife for 20 years of marriage. She's 55, he's 58. She give him twice a month. He pays all the bills. She tries to run him on everything he does. He's tired. Yeah, I would be tired. Twice a month at 58. My God. Booby was born when I was 57. That's a whole other story, but no, that's twice a month. And she's probably just sitting there looking at her watch while he's there, Because like I said, by the time you're 45, you've had sex over 3,000 times. She literally has a hole right there. And he's just sitting there, going to work, killing himself twice a month. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen here. And that's the real nitty gritty. But nobody wants to talk about it. We always want to go back to all these old antiquated teachings when you have to understand that life is evolving, man. It's always evolving. Hey, Tito Child, what's going on, brother? He's getting this. You should be over here pretty soon. Yeah, that's what I said earlier, Frank. We have testosterone. It keeps us younger than the women. There's a reason why that is. A woman, okay, I saw where the woman had a 70-year-old woman in Nigeria, I think, had twins. But that was after some type of treatment. That's not normal. But it's normal for a 70-year-old man to continue to have babies. Yeah, he said 3,000 times sounds about right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No place to go. And then now she's turning evil to you. Because there's no sympathy for men over there. When you get old, you're supposed to be Paul, and you're supposed to sit your behind down. You've had your good times is behind you. You know, you're a dirty old man. You know, what would grandma think if she was still alive and saw you with that 40-year-old woman? You know, crazy, man. He said, I want to shake Robert's hand and ask him how he do it. He said, I met my wife in Japan years ago. That's a good place. Hey, Reginald Wallace, thanks for that super chat. He says, just coming in, Cal, how did you handle the earthquake, bro? It didn't affect us. You know, we're way down, but man, I tell you, believe it or not, after the earthquake hit down south, they had one in Manila. I was talking to somebody, and they said, yeah, they got a 5.5 in Manila. Then the volcanic eruption in Indonesia. Something, I hope I'm wrong, man, but something real drastic is going to happen around here. Well, it already has, really, in Malaysia, not Indonesia. Is it Indonesia or Malaysia, guys? Help me. Where those 17 people died from the volcanic eruption. Yeah, but we didn't get it, Reginald. We've been getting some rain, not a whole lot. 53 Shades Darker says, a month after I retired at 53, I got the hell out of that war zone. Seen enough in Iraq. Yeah, I hear you, man. You know, he said that's why they call a scammer. What are you talking about? Yeah, he says, I don't know who talked to these older women on the dating sites. It must be very lonely. You know, I try to tell guys that, you know, if you just want companionship, yeah, that's fine. But I know that's not what, if you're on a Filipino dating site, you're not just wanting companion. You're wanting some type of intimacy. And that's okay. Why do we have to feel guilty about it? You're living basically in exile in your own country over there because of some antiquated beliefs, okay, that the people who are telling you to follow the beliefs aren't even following. You know, you're basically torturing yourself because you're going on the beliefs of 4% of the population in the earth. There's 96% of other opinions and perspectives. There's a whole lot going on out here, guys, than over there. That's what the news I'm going to tell you. What you think is bad over there is not bad over here. This is the big problem. This is what the guy was telling the man on the documentary. He said, you're looking at it from a Western point of view. You're not looking at it from the reality of living over here in Thailand and the life that some of these women are forced to live. You're just looking at it, you know, trying to make a documentary. It's always the woman, the victim. Oh, look at the bad foreigner coming over there, taking advantage of the woman. You have no idea. And they talk to women. The one guy, the older guy, he said these women aren't even considered prostitutes, he said. He said they don't have a hard life, which they don't. You know, the one lady on there, she said, yeah, sometimes my customers, they want to do things that I don't want to do, I won't do. But for the most part, he said they're out on the beach, going shopping, riding motorcycles, things they would never do before, laughing and having a good time, which is what I saw in Angeles City. Those women were not, for one moment, hurting. And they could run off at any time, I guess, you know, because see, when you talk like that, here comes the Western thinking, well, how do you know that they're not human trafficking? Well, I don't know. I can just tell you what I'm seeing. But I can tell you this, not every last one of them is human trafficking. unless they're trafficking themselves. Craig Anthony says, you're right, Cal. People don't understand we pay all that money for healthcare and people die in hospitals. Yeah, I mean, they die in hospitals. But the thing about it is, that's the first thing come out of our mouth. See, we got a lot of misinformation going on over there. We think that we've got the best of everything when we don't. We're far down the scale in just about everything that means anything, except for money. That's because we printed at will, and we got that big-ass military over there to back it up. I'm not bashing America. I'm just talking reality. Y'all not dealing in reality over there, because I wasn't for 50-some-odd years. It was only till I got over here and started seeing the world as it really was. Not from what I'm being indoctrinated. He says, the white gloves stay on. No, man, I saw you getting that foot massage 2 hours. Wow. You got me beat. But that's a good idea to anybody. Once you make that long flight on that plane, man, get you a foot massage. Because they're not just going to, they do it all the way up to your thigh. And, you can, because what happens? What do they call that? Where you can get blood clots from flying on that plane, just sitting there for all that time. I always get up and walk anyway, because for some reason I have to use the bathroom when I'm on the plane. I don't know if it's from nerves or what. Yeah, that's all I'm saying, man. He said Picasso had a child 68 and the mother of the child was 28. Well, that's still going on. But see, when you're over there in America and in the West, they're going to make it seem like you're doing something wrong. Like, okay, once you're grown, you're grown. You don't get growner. You get older. But you don't get growner. How stupid is that? So if I'm 70 and the woman's 20 and she's grown, then she's not going to get any more grown than she is then. She's just going to get older. So it doesn't make a difference if she's 20 or 40. When you're grown, you're grown. But we got to mix up. We take that number to mean everything. Oh, you're still in the best years from the lady. Well, she's still in the best years from me. Because according to Napoleon Hill, a man really doesn't hit his stride until he's 60 and above. See? So, because all that foolishness is behind us, our money stacked up, we're wiser, we got all this experience and everything. We got a lot to offer. This is why I'm talking about this today. Stop coming over here, acting and being guilty. You're feeling like you don't have anything to be guilty for. You got value over here. Don't give your value away. And I don't care what other people think about themselves, but you got value. Ron Scudder says, Cal, they realize that there's a new model rolling down the assembly line every day, and they're a bit insecure about that. I know that for a fact. There's a lot of competition going on over here. And now it's boiling over into the real world. Women, there's women on those dating sites that have been on there for decades, because men, they don't have to go on the dating site to meet a woman. Certainly not here. Yeah, the Ring of Fire. Okay, yeah, that's what the Philippines smacked down on that Ring of Fire. Indonesia, okay, I said Malaysia, yeah, because it showed in a newspaper here the little girl had that ash all over, man, and man, 17 people would die. Hey, W Secrets of Success, thanks for that super chat. He says, I've had some level of massage every day. I'm walking minimum 5+ miles per day. Yeah, that Beach Road, are you staying anywhere near Beach Road? That's what they do. I fell in love with Beach Road, man. you know, people say, oh, you talked about, I did not talk about Thailand, man. I love Thailand. I'm going back. I was talking about, I was shocked at Soy 6. I was expecting more. But remember, that was Soy 6. There's just women everywhere in that place. I mean, that's going on all over in Pattaya. But yeah, I fell in love with Beach Road because I would get up early, man. You see all the people jogging and walking up and down there, man. Because you got a wide enough space. You only got to walk in the street. The other side by the beach, I mean, it's just a wide space. Sidewalk. It's like a boardwalk and the beach, man. But yeah, that's how I was doing in the Philippines. When I first started coming over, I get a massage every day. And somebody told me, said, man, it's not good to get a massage every day. I said, well, I'm sorry. I'm getting one every day. I don't get one every day now because we don't have it like that here in San Carlos City. Now, if I lived in Bacolod, man, if you ever come to the Philippines and you're anywhere near Bacolod, I'm going to tell you, you have to go to the El Fisher Hotel. You don't even have to stay there. They've got the best masseuses in all the Philippines, I promise you, man. Because, you know, at one time, I guess there was like a 5-star hotel. It's still pretty nice. It's just old. But they've got the best, man. You're not going to get, I've never had one better than, they will put you to sleep. Yeah, they'll put you to sleep. But I'm going to have to switch to my phone, guys, because my laptop, the battery's running down. So give me a few minutes. But yeah, they've got the best in all the Philippines that I've ever seen. That I've ever experienced. None of them even comes close, okay? I promise. Because normally when the ladies, when they go over your back with this, like that, they put this too far down, man, it hurts. But there, they do it just right, smooth across your back. Oh, man. But yeah, guys, hold on. Give me a second because this thing's getting ready to shut off. And I don't want to lose y'all. Crazy. And so the gunman, man, he was a 67-year-old man. He was looking for some people. He had a list. Yeah, that's kind of crazy stuff that goes on over there. I can't see me because I'm getting this thing together. But yeah, see, I was only there 2 days, W Secrets to Success. And I wish I would have, this next time I go, I'm going to stay a whole lot farther. I mean, a lot more. Okay. There you go. Okay. That didn't take long, did it? Yeah, my battery's getting ready to go down. He said, how's Curly doing, man? Curly's doing great. You hear him out there. And, man, wait till I show y'all Lucky, man. Lucky done got so big so quick. He said, yeah, but you must explore the other areas, too. I love North Pattaya and the locations north of Beach Road. Beach Road. Yeah, Beach Road, yeah. I'm going to have to do that the next time I'm there. I know Chocolate Man in Thailand. He's back in America. He's doing some type of chocolate man in the van. He's doing type of living in a van. Yeah, I'm open to all of this. He said, I would love to see you hook up with the Richie Mack or Tailor-Made Dreams in Patio. Well, when I was there, that's why I said everybody knew I was there. I mean, Chocolate Man, he reached out to me. I don't know. I'm open to that, guys, to collaborate with anybody. If it's gonna push the genre further, if it's gonna push the conversation further. He said that looks like a big diamond, Cal. It should have been. That came with this damn expensive ass computer I bought about almost 3 years ago. I ought to be slapped in my head. It's supposed to have been the equivalent of a MacBook, right? And they gave me that Bluetooth speaker to go with it. Really. I was me and Marilyn, we were in St. Carlos City. We were looking for a laptop. This was almost 3 years ago. And they had a nice Dell computer, still in the box and everything, right? But the reason I didn't buy it, they wanted $29,000, right? The people didn't even know how to cut it on. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy this. They literally did not know how to cut on their computer. They're in there selling computers for 30,000 pesos and didn't even know how to turn it on. He said, van life, been there, done that. Yeah, he's traveling around. He's like recreating himself, man, because of course he was doing the Thailand thing. He said, look like Curly made the comeback of the year. Oh, man, what are you talking about? I'm so happy, man, because Curly, man, is like a member of the family. Remember, I love Curly. I'm not going to marry him, though. So that's why, y'all get that love out of your man. Just be happy and content when you come over here. If you happy with the woman you with, if you content, if y'all get along, you don't have any problems doing what you're doing, because she's certainly not going to have any problems doing what she's doing. Let that go, man. All that old do you love me stuff, man. Of course they're going to tell you they love you. How do you ever know if somebody loves you? How do you know? Because I'm the only one going to tell you this. I'm the first one to tell you this. The women are going to treat you like they love you, whether they do or not. They're going to do the same exact things, guys. They have to. That's why we're so easy food over here. Because they'll do things that you think she must love me. Okay? Because she's doing XYZ. When she doesn't have that in her mind. It's all about, the better life, helping my family and all of that, which is nothing wrong with that. He said, you're like the Energizer Bunny, Cal, 60 and still slinging it. Man, it's genes, really. Because until my father got sick, he was the same way. When I was staying, okay, see, this is where all this crazy stuff got in my mind. My mother never said anything bad about my father, ever. But she would crack jokes about the young women he was dealing with. Now, let's see. When I was 16, my father would have had to been about 50. He was dealing with a woman, she was about 22, and she was married. And she was fine. See, my father, man, all the way up until he got sick. He probably got sick at about 57 or something like that. Eventually died at 61. He was with young women, man. I mean, I think that's the reason why, him and my mother eventually broke up. They never got divorced, but they did separate because, my father he still wanted it, man. How Funk would say, hey, Cal, how many years does it feel like you added versus United States? Man, he just said it. I feel I've added about 10 years to my life. Because remember, if you look at the numbers, which, I don't know where, they know what they're doing. Let me take that back. As an insurance agent, I know better. They know what they're doing when they're coming up with these numbers, these actuarials and stuff. When they say, oh, the average lifespan of a black man in America is what? Something like 70 or something like that. It's not much more than that. Well, I looked it up. The average lifespan of a Filipino man over here is 70. And I was like, well, hell, he's with all this fancy lifestyle that I've got. What's up, boo? And everything. Get out of here, knucklehead. Everything I'm supposed to have going on over there. And the best I can do, my laptop is here, but the battery's low. And all I can do is break even. I need to go over there then. And maybe, because I want them extra years, whatever it is. 4 or 5 years. I want mine. I don't know about anybody else how. But if I'd have stayed over there, I was on schedule to die when I was supposed to. But I think I've added maybe 10 years over here. I see it. I see it in the guys who are doing it the right way. They're not the guys up there on Walking Street. But remember, if they're happy, if they content, what can I say? I'm talking about the guys who come over and do it right. Man, you can see the difference almost overnight. Yeah, Tita Child said, happy content is what it's all about. I needed love when I was 21. Yeah, but we're forced, because of these old messed up beliefs that we have over there, all this rhetoric, all this religious stuff that's going on over there, men are basically held in captive. A lot of men, we're in a sad shape over there once you reach a certain age, because they want you to stay with a woman that's your age. Well, they outgrow us. They're older than us. So unless you're rich and famous, because they're the only ones that are able to get away with it when no one says anything about it. But if you're just a regular Joe like me, you know, and you save your money, you work hard, you're living good, and all of a sudden you come to the Thanksgiving dinner, the family Thanksgiving dinner with a 25-year-old, hell, you're probably going to get run out of town. That's foolishness, man. I mean, it really is. That kind of thinking, man, that's stinking thinking. I don't want nothing to do with a 60-year-old woman. I'm sorry. We can be friends, but that's it. Because I know unless she's the exception, she ain't got nothing coming, man. Ron Scudder says, we're not accustomed to that level of treatment in the West, but over there, that's standard practice. Yeah, and see, that's the whole point about it being a cultural shift. So okay, here's one thing that the guy said that shocked the guy over there. He said, you know, the first thing that the bar girl does when I take her back to my apartment, he said she starts cleaning up and washing the dishes. Not because I make her, he said, but that's their culture. And see, if there are women over there not going to typically do that over there. If they do, they're going to think they're inferior. You're dealing with a whole new world over here. It's going to take you a while to get used to that. Because when you come over here and everything is done for you, man, you know, that's the reason why people make videos like I do, like, oh, I live like a king over here. Because you would have to be a king over there to get the day-to-day treatment that you get over here. You would have to be a king over there to get that type of treatment. I'm talking about every single day. It never fails. Like he said, it's standard practice. So when you first get over here, you're thinking, man, something's wrong. What does she want from me? You know, she's trying to run some type of game. No, he said it on the documentary. He said the bar girl, then you know they've already negotiated their price. He said the first thing they do, they start cleaning up, washing dishes. 53 Shades Darker in the Philippines says you don't. 15 years with someone and still found out some mess. Yeah, I learned the hard way. See, and we're not supposed to hurt either. See, and I'm glad you would come on here and share this, 53 Shades Darker, because what we're supposed to do is stuff that down inside, internalize it, and go on with it. We don't really have nobody to talk to because we're supposed to be men. Men aren't supposed to cry. We're not supposed to hurt. So that hurts, man. You know,
Okay, now me and Merlin, we've been together almost 5 years. If I found out right today that Merlin's been screwing around on me, regardless of what I've done and everything, it would hurt me, man. You know, I don't know how long it would take. You know, how long does it take to get over something like that? But we can't talk to anybody like that because, oh man, you weak. You know, we're not supposed to have any feelings. So you're married for 15 years and you find out a woman's fooling around or something like that. Man, I see why some guys snap. I'm not saying that's the answer, but I can see why some people snap. Then you don't have nobody to talk to. Who are you going to talk to? Because you're going to feel embarrassed. Like you're the only one whose husband or wife fooled around on them or something. And you probably saw the red flags years ago, but you too busy working. You know, I was watching something the other day, true story, where the woman went to, the boyfriend discovered the pregnancy test in the bathroom, right? And he says, hey, why didn't you tell me about that pregnancy test? And she says, none of your business. He says, well, you're my woman, right? And she said, because it's not your baby. And he said, well, who is this? Your brother's baby. And she said, you're too busy doing this and that. You never here when I need you and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. So you can imagine, right, what that must be like. He was like, damn, my brother. But that's what happens to a lot of us. We're too busy out there, you know, making ends meet, that a lot of times we're not fulfilling the needs of the woman, especially the emotional needs, man, because we're not supposed to be that way. We're not supposed to be romantic and all of that. Reginald Wallace says it's an African powder you mix with your juice called a toady, will make you stand up in it. Yeah, see, I don't need that stuff. I'm going to tell you something. I had a guy in my channel. I don't know if he's still watching or not. He's a Singaporean. He sent me some stuff, man. It works so good. Merlin's like, no, don't use that stuff anymore. You don't need it. It's some stuff out there, guys, that you can buy over the counter over here in Asia, because there's some stuff. Okay, I was watching a documentary the other day on, let's see. There's a guy from Africa, but he lived in Britain. And there's something called Viagra something. But what it is, it's the same ingredients that they used in Viagra. So they made it over the counter. You can get it without a prescription. And the whole documentary is about younger men using this Viagra stuff, man. It's crazy. Hey, KW, just a dumb old boy from Texas. Thanks for that super sticker, man. It's my buddy down in Florida, man. He's coming this way. We're going to head he wants me to go up to Angeles City. Why do I keep saying Angeles? Who told me it's Angeles? Is it Angeles or Angeles? North side of Dallas says, I came to the stream for the infrastructure. Yeah, it's here, man. Believe it or not, people don't think that the Philippines has good enough infrastructure, but it really does. When you're trying to do the things that we're trying to do. You know, I'm not trying to build an atomic bomb. Oh, he says Angeles. Yeah, that's what I thought, but every time I said they said it's Angeles. Frank said, man, I'm done with American Woman. I've been monk mode for the last 3 years. Yeah, I don't know about that monk mode, but I'm certainly done with them. It's been so long since I even dated Western woman or American woman. I mean, years upon years, 2009 to now, because when I wasn't here in the Philippines, I was dating a woman from Cuba, and she was from Cuba. She had lived in Spain for several years and then came to America. But she couldn't even speak English. We used that damn little bitty iPhone of hers. But it's funny that it's just like the guy says on the documentary, because he was talking about, well, how do y'all communicate? Because she doesn't speak good English. He said, you'll be surprised how little words need to be spoken to maintain a relationship like this. And it was the same way with the woman from Cuba. I mean, when I was hungry, she knew I was hungry. She knew how to ask that and different things like that. But it wasn't like we had to have some drawn out conversations about the Supreme Court justice and all that stuff. Angelo says, I wouldn't want to get married again. I know most Filipinos want to be married, but the idea stresses me out. Well, you know, it's the culture, but remember, you got to lay that down in the beginning, and you're not going to have any problems. Just say, you know, to be honest, say, you know, the thought of getting married right now, because all you got is now anyway, it scares me. Can you give me some time? She's going to say, yeah. That's if you're treating her right. He says, oh, hell, on hellies. Yeah, just be honest with women up front, man. He says, I don't think I want to get married. Even Will Smith money's not enough. He's slapping people in the face. Yeah, I think it has to do more with him, because somebody just said something. I think, let me see who that was. Was it 53 Shades Darker? He says, you know, a lot of people stay married because, you know, of the status. You know, they don't want the world to see that they're unhappy, that they're normal. So they put up that front. I think that Will Smith's putting up a front. I've read his book, and not that says a whole lot about him, but a lot of stuff's making sense to me, because he saw a bad marriage between his mother and his father, and they split up, and it devastated him. I think he's trying to just stay together, because I know good and well Will Smith ain't monk mode, and I guarantee you he's not just fooling with that woman. If they're separated, Will Smith can probably have just about any woman he wants. You know, Will Smith ain't, you know, he's a player. He was a player back in the day. Yardy, what's up, man? He says, hell, staying with a 67-year-old woman in the U.S. will subtract years from your life. Don't want no parts of that. I prefer having a younger woman outside the matrix. That's a win-win situation. It is a win-win situation. And it's a proven fact that when you're with a younger woman or you're hanging around younger people, you're going to feel younger. And you're not going to turn the clock back, but it does add years to your life. But yeah, they're trying to put up that front. I know he is, because divorce is just so ugly. I was the same way, man. I stayed in my first marriage far too long because I just didn't want, I was embarrassed to say that it didn't work out. Xavier, what's up, man? He said, Cal, you're giving very helpful advice before and after my visit to the Philippines. It saved me money and headaches. Keep doing your thing, brother. It is truly appreciated. Now, I met you in person, and I met the woman you was with. It seemed like you had a good time, brother, and I'm glad you ain't have no headaches. But you look like one of those guys who thinks for themselves. But some of us, Xavier, we'll get over here and we'll start putting the woman in charge. She'll start making decisions for us. Even though you don't want to get married, there you go, you're getting married. Even though you don't want to have children, there you go, you're having children. You don't want to live together, you're following her lead when you're the man. Over here, the man leads. I know it sounds cringy to you guys over there because of this Me Too movement and all that. But the man leads over here. You know, we don't give the Filipino man enough credit for holding his place over here. Imagine if he didn't. Imagine if he all of a sudden became like we were over there. You wouldn't even want to come over here. The Beach of Life says you're only as old as the woman you feel. That's anonymous. It's a fact, man. These young women have kept me young. I mean, hey, oh, wow, strawberry. Good job, boo. Where you get them? Probably cost a fortune over here. And they're little. Hmm? Here. There. And take it in there. She wants to eat. Look at these little strawberries, man. Here. Take them in there. And don't eat them all, because I want some. Get out of here. Yeah, that's one thing you don't see a lot here. I'm shocked to see them strawberries. Strawberries, let's see. What else that I don't see over here? Strawberries, number one. Grapes are very expensive here. Grapes are very expensive. Yeah, I don't know about that monk mode though, Frank. You know, I've been known to hit a big Shirley, but you don't even have to hit a big Shirley. Like I said, I met the Cuban woman. You know, she was, you know, them Latino women are spicy, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I tell you, I'd be singing a whole different tune had I not started that K1 already when I met that woman. I met her in February of 2013. I started that K1 December 2012. I was just minding my own business. I wasn't even looking to meet anybody. Met that woman. And it would be a whole different story. She found the paperwork in my closet, man. It was mad, but she hung in there. What happened? Are they sweet? No. Them strawberries aren't sweet.
I never taste strawberry sweet.
You never? Yeah, that's sweet in America. And they're big. T.J. Johnson said, but who knows, are they real guys? Are they genetically modified over there? T.J. Johnson said Jane Fonda's still out here catching bodies at 86. She actually said she wouldn't date again, period. Because she doesn't like old skin, but she would want a 20-year-old and wouldn't want to subject him to that. Yeah, you know, but remember, she's got millions too. And you would just be turning that thing upside down, TJ, from what's going on over here. You know, I think a lot of these younger women, they tolerate that old sagging skin and them old wrinkly balls and all that stuff because of the money. You know, love ain't got nothing to do with it. I mean, as long as she's making you happy and you making her happy, what difference should love have to do with it? Y'all mess it all up. You 70 years old. You've had all the damn love in the world. You don't need no damn love. You've had enough love. What happened to happiness, man? I'd rather have happiness over love because that love can hurt, man. If you really start getting emotionally entangled, you know, like I told y'all earlier, if all of a sudden I found out Merlin was fooling around, I would be hurt, man. I would be devastated. See, but I've gotten myself into that situation. See, if you aren't in that situation, why would you put yourself in that situation? To let somebody else have that kind of power over you. It's too late for me, really. That's why I'm telling you that, you know, love ain't got nothing to do with it. Just be happy, man. Hey, Dexter Dixon, thank you for that super sticker. I mean, that's as much as a 70 or 75-year-old can expect. We're expecting too much. You remember we've talked about that on this channel before. Lower your expectations, man. You got a beautiful 30-year-old woman at the top of her game, and you want to keep pushing it and pushing her about this love thing, man. Sit down somewhere. He said, facts. Dexter Dixon said, facts. Younger women will make you feel younger. They do. Marilyn's 20 years younger than me. I feel younger. She kind of pushes me. Even when I don't want to work out, I'll work out. Even though I want to take care of myself, because I don't want that gap to get any bigger. Because it can get bigger. No, they're not sweet over here. I don't even know. That's probably some from somebody's farm out of their, backyard. Because something else they don't have over here. I'm trying to think, but I'm telling you, grapes are very expensive over here. I mean, real expensive. Yeah, 86. Yeah. It's just like the guy with Cher. He's with Cher because she's Cher and she got that money, right? There's no telling. She probably had reconstructive surgery below her waist. She probably got a whole new damn waist. Because ain't nothing he really wants to do with a damn 77-year-old woman, man. He's sick. It's elder abuse. Look like fooling with a 77-year-old woman, And I don't give a damn how good her face is. She have some dance. She really would have to be the throat goat. And then giving me big time money on the side of that to deal with a 77-year-old woman, because when she takes her clothes off, she's going to be 77. Mother Nature don't give a damn about Cher and Sonny either. Yeah, let the woman love. It's, I mean, guys, I'm going to tell you, you ruin your own damn happiness over here. And she didn't give you everything you could ever dream about. Everything that you would expect a woman who loves you to do over there, she's going to do here. She's going to do here, but then you want to mess it all up and demand that she loves you. Well, guess what she's going to say? Yeah, I love you. And she's going to tell you that every day. And then she's going to tell it to you so soon and so much that then you're going to stop believing it. Okay, now what's the point? I'm going to be honest with you, man. I got it good here, man. If I found out Marilyn didn't love me, I'd be like, okay, so what? Just keep doing what you're doing and making me feel the way I feel. And I could care less whether you love me or not. Because it's that what I want to say when you talk about love. It's too broad of a term. Xavier Allen said, what scares me is how quickly they tell you they love you. I need love like I need another hole in my head. Yeah, this is my point exactly. How do you even know it's true? You just want to hear it. Well, she's going to tell you, I love you. Then I don't believe it. It's too quick. You just met me last week or last night. Because they'll tell you, man, they'll say, okay, you meet them and you start chatting with them. Then the next time you chat with them, when they're getting ready to log off, she's going to hit you with that love bomb. I love you. Take care, honey. And you're going to be like, what the hell? Everything. Not everything sagging. Remember, the breasts are where the stomach is. The stomach is where the knees are. I don't care what they do, man. You 77. And I don't want anything to do with a 77-year-old woman. I don't care how old I am. I don't want anything 77 but a Cadillac. Because I had a 77 Cadillac. Charles Holiday says, do they have blueberries and raspberries here? Do they? Well, evidently not. But they've got a lot of other stuff that can make up for it. They got a lot of fruit over here, dragon fruit. They got all kind of fruit over here. You never taste it. It'll bring into mind something you're craving over there. Reginald Wallace said, elder abuse, damn cow. No, that's true. Okay, this guy is what? 30-something and Cher is 77. he's pounding the hell out of that. It says Matrix LLC is Viagra allowed in the Philippines? Yeah. Okay, y'all heard of the vlogger Kiki in the Philippines, but his last video, he's in Angeles City, and he goes into the pharmacy. He's buying it over the counter. He doesn't have a prescription, but I think it's 1,000 pesos for one Cialis, this one pill. And she was going to sell it to him, but right over the counter. I think it's the generic, so maybe that's why it's legal. But it was a lot stronger than what he was used to, because he said, well, I know prescription, I think it was 100 milligrams, and I think prescription Cialis, he said, is 20 milligrams. So, man, I'm going to tell you. He says, only thing I'm going to love is my golf clubs. Otherwise, it's being happy, yeah. Yeah, you can't hide that. And he said, yeah, that beetroot really works. I got Merlin taking it because it's not only for that, it's for your workout and exercising. It helps you. Now, my buddy, he bought some from the United States. Now, the batch he gave us was a whole lot better than the batch I bought from Shopee. I don't know why. It was totally different. I mean, the stuff he brought was in a white jar. I mean, you take that thing, man, and you'll feel it the first day. Hey, thanks. Yeah, he said Brock's 100 national parks to visit in USA. He says, when I get there, I need to find the throat goat. Yeah, Cher would have to be the throat goat, but that's not going to be hard to find. J Flo says she's going to tell you I love you, and can you send a monthly stipend and buy a lot? Granted, I only known you 6 months. Yeah, sometimes it's 6 hours. He said, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. What's the difference? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How can you ever know anyway? Do you get along? That's what I'm saying. Lanzonis, yeah, they're good. There's a lot of stuff over here that you've never heard of. Jackfruit is good. Papayas. We got a papaya tree out there full of papayas, man. I'm talking about, but they'll use it depending on the degree of ripeness. When it's not so ripe, they'll use it in the soups and stuff. But when it's ripe, they'll just eat it like they're eating a melon or something. Watermelon over is delicious. Yeah, or saying she loves you while you're in her. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, he says, I love you, your money. But I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm happy. And, it doesn't matter if there's got to be an emotion there, but does it have to be love? Love is just too broad of a term. And people are disappointed if the woman says, no, I don't love you, but she's a throat goat. She's a throat goat. She fixes your meals, does everything for you, irons your clothes, give you a massage, looks after your best interests over here. But the fact that she doesn't love you, then you're disappointed. And you guys, y'all never know. Well, yeah, sure. But see, that's what I'm saying, Frank. This is what they're saying about us. Now, Cheryl should be ashamed of herself, but she's rich and she's famous, so they get a pass. Normal guys like us, Frank, we don't get a pass. We're supposed to just sit over there and rot away because we've reached a certain age, but our dick still gets hard. There's still some action going on in your nuts. Your testosterone is still, fighting to stay alive. But you're supposed to give up and be paw and, and sit on the front row in church every Sunday. That's all you're supposed to do. Anything else is sinful. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. When it's really not the case. Nature didn't design it that way. Nature says you go until you die. And once you're grown, you're grown. You don't get growner. Okay? Remember that, guys. You don't get growner. Once a woman is grown, whether she's grown at 18 or 38, she's grown. She's not going to get any growner. She's going to get older. That's the problem over here. A lot of guys, and women, it's this, guys, listen. It's the maturity gap. That's what you want to look for. Don't go by the age. Because there's some women over here that are in their 30s. I wouldn't look twice. I couldn't deal 5 minutes with them because they're immature. Yeah, they're immature. But you can meet younger women because I've done it. Remember I told you that the woman that I met, she was 22. She said she was 22. She was 18. For 6 months, she did nothing to make me think she was anything but 22. This woman was mature. She was grown at 18. And you're going to run into that over here. But people will tell you, oh, they're too young. They don't know anything. That's not true. Because you don't know their background. You don't know their upbringing. Some women, like my son's mother, she was working. I'm talking about to take care of years old, selling coconuts on the street in Cebu City. 1 year off from school. So instead of going from the 5th grade, see, back then, elementary school only went up to the 5th grade. Then you went into high school at 6th grade. Well, she couldn't go to high school because her mother couldn't afford. She wanted to go, but the mother couldn't afford to send her to school, the uniforms, the projects and stuff like that. So she took a year off and went down in the cold streets of Cebu City and sold coconuts every damn day. So you don't tell me by the time she reached 18, she wasn't grown. I'll be damned. She was. She was as grown as anybody you was ever going to meet. Hey, Yardy, thanks for this. Super chat. He says, I'm 61, Cal. He says, I go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. There aren't many 60-year-old women in my area that can keep up. All the women I see in the gym are much younger. I don't want an old-ass broad. Yeah, and you have the right to say that. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about, Yardy. No one talks about the bad situation many older men find themselves in the West. No love, no intimacy because of all the rhetoric and all the bullshit that's put into our head. They make us feel guilty. Oh, you should be ashamed, looking at them young women like that. No, it's not. That's the way nature planned it. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It's innate in us, guys. It was put in there when you in the womb, when the DNA and all the chromosomes and all that was coming together to create whoever you became. It was in there. And thank God, or whoever you want to thank, it's in there. Because your life is not over at 60. It's really just beginning. Napoleon Hill says you don't hit your stride until 60 because a lot of the distractions that held us up in early days, they're no longer there anymore. And you still got your manhood intact. Man, y'all don't understand it, guys. It's not about age. Unless you're a woman. And then, that's the way nature planned it. If nature didn't plan it, if nature didn't shut the woman down at a certain age, if you think the world's overpopulated now, but nature plans it that way. A woman reaches an age, she's no longer fertile. She can no longer have children. She stops having a menstrual cycle. I didn't do that. I'm just talking about it. It's just a conversation. Don't get mad at me. It's just a fact. And, that's it. But a man, he goes until he dies. Most of us do. Manny Figueroa 621 says, vaccines you suggest taking before arriving in the fields for the first time. Well, I didn't take any. But let me tell you this. The guys who I asked that question to, Manny, they say that their doctor tells them to take hepatitis A and B, at least. But I didn't take anything. I haven't taken anything other than the vaccines that the government mandated I take. See, over here, you didn't have a choice. If you were going to step outside your house, you had to take that vaccine, which I don't have a problem with it. That's not an argument I'm going to get into. I'm not. That's not the type of conspiracy I'm on. There are some conspiracies I believe in, but not that one. There's an easier way to get rid of us than that. He said, that's just another way to control the men by allowing them to be men. That's right. And it's a lot of guys who are suffering over that. They're suffering. You paid your dues to society. You've done all you could do. By the time I was 55, I paid every due I could possibly pay in America. I couldn't do anything else to earn my keep over there. So now, let me do something for myself. Can I make a decision that's going to benefit me now? My kids was grown when my youngest daughter was 16. She was grown in my eyes. I couldn't do anything with her. Okay, I'm divorced, the whole 9 yards. Now it's time to do something for me. Let me be happy for a little while. Hey, there's Alex, man. What's up, man? Thanks for that. That was a great interview, by the way, man. You really carried yourself well in that interview, man. You don't fit the typical mold. But I think these guys are getting younger and younger because they're running into the same thing the older guys are. I mean, a 34-year-old woman over there is just as crazy as a 44-year-old woman. I mean, they're entitled. It's like they want you to do all this stuff for them, and and they don't even know you. You don't even know them. You're steadily having to prove yourself over there. Man, that's antiquated over there. Look, let's cut to the chase. Here's what I'm bringing to the table. And you're bringing this, okay, let's put it together and have a meal, whatever it is. All that old negotiating and take me out so many times. You got to prove yourself to women. They got to prove themselves. That's a waste of time, guys, at the end of the day. The lost good man in Jersey says, I just interviewed a guy who's a widower. He said that on dating apps, he met 2 women in 2 years, and they both had bad attitudes. He needs a boo. Yeah, I've never been on the dating sites in America. I've never been on the dating sites I never even knew about dating sites. I mean, it's just so, and this is 2009, up to 2009 when I started getting on the dating sites over here. I had no clue, really. It was either go out, the dating site for me was the nightclub. That was the easiest way to meet a woman, really. That was my dating site. You go there, you have drunk, she's half drunk, and you go from there. But I never got on the dating site. So when I got on the dating site about 2 days before I came to the Philippines, man, I could not imagine, man. I was like, wow. It's the same thing y'all seeing today, but it wasn't as bad. But I'm like, wow, look at all these women. They're really interested in me because I didn't know any better. I really had no clue of what was going on. And because I didn't really know what was going on, I didn't get unlucky. Because you can overthink these dating sites. And so I tell you, don't overthink them. There's really only 2 things you really have to do to be successful, or don't do to be successful on the dating site. Number one is don't chat on that dating site. If you log into your account and you see these women up there with the green light, avoid them. That's the first thing you have to do. Okay? I mean, the second thing is so simple. Stop going for the Instagram models. They're not real, or they're so full of shit, man, that you don't even want to deal with them. You know, they got 1,000 men in their inbox telling them how beautiful they are. If you just do those 2 steps, you're going to succeed. If you see just a regular looking Filipinas, man, they're nice, they're attractive. They don't have to be the Instagram model. Remember Robert said, why do they look so much better in person? Because they do. They look a whole lot better in person. If you just follow those 2 things, but we'll overthink it. Oh, some guy called me, said, and he actually called me, said, oh, I'm frustrated. My head's ready to explode on this. It's just too many options. There's too much, going on this dating site. Because he's overthinking it. Yeah, if you talk, and this is perfect. Thank you, Ryan. He said, hepatitis A and B, typhoid, malaria are vaccines my doc says I should be up on. And I should say, talk to your doctor or healthcare provider, to the guy who asked me that question. But all the guys I talked to, he said they, the other one, what's the other one? Japanese encephalitis. But that's so expensive, your insurance may not cover it. But, guys, you're not living in the 1800s over here. Okay, most of us, when we get over here, listen closely to this. This is really a no-brainer. We live a Western type lifestyle over here. Very few guys do you see over here are living in these squatter areas and things like that. These slums where it can be dangerous to your health. Most of us just, it's just, we live in the modern Philippines. Yeah, it is. This is right, Lynn. This is what I've been telling them for 3 years. He said, anywhere in the Philippines, there's a lot of good women with good intentions. If this were not 100% true, we would be in trouble, guys, because we stick our neck out there for them to chop it off, but they don't do it. It's not in them to do it. Remember my saying, you don't get lucky over here, you get unlucky. You can be in such a hurry that you choose the wrong woman, or you let the wrong woman choose you. But if you just take your time, you won't go wrong over here, if that's all you're looking for. Because they're looking for you, especially the ones on the damn dating site. They got a flashing red light, I want a foreigner. It's not like when you get out in the street like Alex, he took his chance. But how many of us have that type of courage? We don't. There's women out here that would give you the time of day. They would. They want the same thing. A lot of them don't have access to the dating site. They don't know anything about the dating sites. But that doesn't mean they wouldn't date you. It doesn't mean they don't want a better life. But you're going to be afraid to talk to them because they don't have the flashing red light on their head saying, hey, I date foreigners, or I'm interested in a foreigner. So you may have to take an L or two, which the L's over here, man, they're just so, they're soft L's, man. She may say something like, oh, yeah, well, I'm married already. If I wasn't married, if I didn't have a living partner. He said, Cal updated my passport on the 1st of December. Do I still have to wait for 6 months to travel? Well, that's not what they mean, Rodney. They mean you have to have 6 months left on your passport before it expires. They don't mean that you have to have 6 months of travel experience to come here. No. You can have a brand new passport, never been stamped, and come to the Philippines. But it has to have at least 6 months left on it. And in some cases, they'll say a certain amount of pages left before it's valid, before they'll let you in here. Because remember, if you're over here and your passport expires, how you going to go to the immigration? How you going to get an extension? You know, now you can come over here and just disappear like that. Now they're saying, no, at least have 6 months left. That's what they're saying. Yeah, see, thank you. That's what he's saying. Yeah, come on in April. That's when I came. Yeah, they're not real. All you got to do is follow those two. I guarantee you're going to find somebody. And I know there's somebody out there, well, I met my girl. She was online. Well, I'll tell you what, that's a red flag. Because Filipinos, they don't have that much time to be on there just waiting on that dating site, unless they're scammers. So she may be an undercover scammer. Because Marilyn was never on that dating site. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to think how long it took for her to contact me. I can't remember. But I know she was never on that dating site. I just left her a message. And she eventually got back with me, and that's the way you want to do it. But them IG models, man, they're not real, guys. Now, when you meet them, they may look like IG models. You know, you gotta understand, man. Beauty's in the eyes of the beholder anyway. But when you come over and you see a woman 22, 25, 30, some 35, and you're 60, 65, you're 58, man, they're going to look beautiful when you meet them. How couldn't they? You know, you've been looking at yourself in the mirror all these years and looking at the people your age all these years in your circle. Then you come over here and you see this woman 25 years old. This is when you're going to have to hold on to your senses. They're going to look a whole lot better in person. Hey, Barry Carey says, hey, Cal, just tuned in here in Melbourne, Australia. The sad reality in many places in the Western world is that the older you get, the more invisible you are to women unless you have plenty of coin. Exactly. This is what this live stream is about. Unless you're rich, unless you're famous, unless, you know, even if you're just a regular person and you got good money, you got a good 401k, you got a good pension, over there you're invisible. The only women are looking at you is the woman in church of the, you know, what they call that? The motherboard. They wear them white uniforms because her husband's already died. So they trying to hook her up with a godly man, and she's 67. And yeah, she's a good woman, you know. That's all they want you to have. That's all they want you to deal with. So if you say, no, I don't want a 67, I want a 37. Oh, you dirty old man. Yeah, the devil got you, you know, you going to hell, right? But if I'm rich and famous, I can date anybody I want, as long as they're of age. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. King Arthur says, the last good man. I'm a widower, and the woman I have met were 2s and had the attitude of a 10. The hell with American women. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. They're entitled. They want you to prove yourself long before you don't even know them. But they want you to prove that you're the perfect man before they'll ever deal with you. And I just think that's ridiculous. It's ludicrous. It's insanity. They want you to take 3 steps to their 1, or they'll still be standing still. Look, let's cut to the chase. Here's what's going on. And that's what I like about here. You cut to the chase. Look, I'm starving for affection, and I'm starving for rice. Okay, let's put them two together so we can stop starving. Let's make it happen. And that's what happens here. There isn't a lot of old drawn out foolishness. Matter of fact, I don't have a problem with on-the-job training if it's the right woman. As long as we can get along, that's the big thing with me. Can I get along with her? If I can get along with you, yeah, we can do some on-the-job training. But if every other second you're asking me for a damn iPhone or my grandmother's sick, you know, my father died again. Like, how many times can your father die and all that? Then no, I'm not dealing with that. Yeah, Grumpy Doo Brian, he says, guys, remember when you order your U.S. passport, get the extra pages issue if you are planning to return to the Philippines, extra pages for flying to other countries. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense because a lot of times you have to have a certain amount of pages left before you can get into the Philippines. King Arthur says, you think if Hugh Hefner didn't have the money he had with all the beautiful women he had around him would have been with him? Absolutely not. Same with, what's the guy that had all that money that died? He had some beautiful women before he died. The airplane guy. Was it? Remember at one time he was one of the richest men in the world. What's his name? I can't think of nothing today. Lynn said red flags for Filipinos. Number one, lack of commitment. Two, womanizer, vices, drugs. Filipino parents doesn't like the man. Men behavior issues. Okay, wait. Let me go back. For Filipinos, one, lack of commitment. Two, I guess for a man, womanizer, vices, drugs. Three, for the Filipino parents don't like the man. Four, for men, behavior issues. He's a narcissist, dishonesty. Men doesn't value women. Are you a vlogger, Lynn, by the way? Maybe I can interview you sometime. And you could talk about some of that stuff. You kind of educate men. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put you on the hot seat. It's going to be the nitty gritty. It's not going to be that same old foolishness that you see on these other channels, where it's making the woman out to be such a beautiful catch. But I forgot to leave out, I've got 4 children and I'm separated. See, we don't want that. We want the real deal. There are some catches over here, guys, don't get me wrong. But these women who are parading around her with 4 children, yeah, Howard Hughes, thank you. Like they're everything, and you got to bend down for them. They got 4 kids that separated and all that stuff. Y'all know what the ones I'm talking about. I'm sorry. You can't give me any advice about what I want in a woman. Yeah, Howard Hughes. Thank y'all. I can't think of nothing today. I ran out. Let me show y'all something real quick. Okay, I laughed about this, right? But I'm getting ready to order some more. My buddy Steve gave these to me. They work, guys, by the way. These Alpha Brain Memory and Fitness, Memory and Focus, rather. I laughed when he gave me this because he forgot them the first time. He said, Cal, they work. I said, well, where are they? Oh, I forgot them back in the States. He said, when I go back to the States, I'll get them and bring them back, right? And he said, but they work, man. Ask Marilyn, they work. Even her daughter was taking them. They work. And not so much that they make me, I guess they work for different people a certain way. It wasn't so much that it was making me remember stuff, but I was sharper and I was coming up with more ideas when I was taking this stuff, man. I don't know what's in it. Hey, the last good man in Jersey said, great show. Wish I could stay longer. I visited the Philippines for the first time this summer. It was amazing. I'm 52. My girlfriend's 28. The only problem was she didn't want to leave the Philippines. Get your passports. Yeah. The only problem, I think that's a good problem. But yeah, guys, I got to get off here because I got the interview at 1 o'clock on the plaza. And it's going to shock you, man, because remember, it's not a dating, no interview that I'll ever do again will be putting a Filipino in front of y'all for y'all to gawk over, anything like that. Or because she wants to meet one of y'all. Really. is so you can learn more about the culture, learn more about the Philippines, get an idea of what and who's over here when you get here. But I think you're going to enjoy it because I'm not going to get down to the nitty gritty. I want to hear her take on what life is really like in the Philippines. See, I can't get Marilyn to do it. Marilyn's too far out there now. She can't remember. Okay. I want to talk to somebody who's still in it right now. Like, how hard is it really over here for a young woman who's trying to earnestly make it and succeed? Okay. And then that way to give you an idea of the woman that you're dealing with or you're trying to deal with over here. Because these women that I'm going to be talking to, they still got dreams. They got a bright present, a bright future, man. Hey, thank you. Reorders 7 for that super chat. He said, great topic tonight. Also, thoroughly enjoy every Smarter Than a Fifth Grader episode. And your duet song was excellent. I only wish the guys, G and G, who is that? We'll stop trying to sing. They're crying. Hey, thank you, man. Angel's really the musician. I'm just messing around. I think everybody, there's certain songs that we all can sing. I can't sing every song, but there's certain songs I can sing. They're around my, what do you call it? My range. But, that wasn't karaoke because some guys said, yeah, you fit right into karaoke. That was actually like a live performance. That's what I liked about it. I mean, here's what I did. I'm going to tell you how talented this young girl is because she's our daughter's best friend. I gave her that song and I said, can you go and practice this to learn how to play it? Because she had never heard it before. And about how long did it take her? 2 or 3 weeks? 1 week. She came back and she played that whole thing. I had to sing it because I'm thinking, well, she's going to give me 2 or 3 weeks of practice. About 1 week, she had that thing. She showed up with her guitar. It's like, sir, I know it. And I'm like, oh, man. But take care, everybody. Thank y'all for your super chats, super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Shoulders. I want to thank everybody who contributed to the Christmas to Remember. We're going to spin that wheel 10 times not next Friday, Friday after next. 10 of our lucky Filipino subscribers, 5,000 pesos each. Man, that's a lot of money over here, guys. Okay, we're going to make it a Christmas to remember. If you don't think that's a lot of money, wait till you get over here. And you're going to see that's about a month's salary for people. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay out of trouble. Look for this interview. I'm going to upload it 6 a.m. in the morning, Philippine time. So it'll be 5 p.m., which actually I'm supposed to do at 7 p.m. now because it'll be 7 a.m. because it'll be 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care, everybody. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it.